Hello students, let us discuss more about Lorentz force. Lorentz force. So, if we have a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, then a force can be experienced by that conductor. That can be decided by Lorentz force. But if we assume about a charge that is moving with uniform magnetic field B, then that charge will also experience a force that can also further given by the Lorentz force. So suppose that any charge Q is moving under any velocity V in uniform magnetic field B, then the force experienced by that charge will be equal to Q into V cross B. And the direction of this force experiencing by that charge can be described with the Maxwell's right hand thumb rule or Fleming's left hand rule. The Fleming's left hand rule explains that if we stretch our left hand forefinger, central finger and thumb perpendicular to each other such that the middle finger indicates the direction of the charge in which it moves with the velocity v, this indicates the direction of the velocity attained by the positive charge particle, and b, the forefinger indicates the direction of the magnetic field, then the direction of the force acting by the charge particle must be indicated by the thumb. So if we make it at here, then if this and this and this one, so this one is the force and this one is the magnetic field and this one is the V. So all these three are perpendicular to each other, and V in which the charge particle moves and B where the magnetic field applied in which the charge particle is moving, and F is the direction of the force in which the charge particle can experience a force. So if we describe this force in magnitude and direction form, then F can be expressed as QVB sine of theta dot n cap. From here we are seeing that the direction of the force acting on the charge particle is perpendicular to the plane formed by the V and B. So if we talk about the magnitude of the force, then what will be the magnitude of the force acting on the charge particle which is moving just along the direction of the magnetic field? It means if any charge particle moving at any angle making theta with direction of magnetic field, suppose that there is V and there is B and there is an angle between V and B, then direction of the force acting on this particle which is moving with velocity V will be the perpendicular to the plane formed by this V and V. So this is direction of n cap, where in which direction the force acting on the charge particle can be explained. So if the angle theta is made by the charge particle with the direction during motion, then if we consider theta is equal to 0, it means charge particle is moving along the direction of the magnetic field. Then if we put theta at 0 at here, then we get what? Sin theta is equal, sin 0 equal to 0. This means the magnitude of the force acting on the charge particle becomes 0. It means if any charge particle moving along the parallel or anti-parallel to the magnetic field, then the charge particle experience no any magnetic force upon itself. Okay. Similarly, if any charge particle moving perpendicular to the magnetic field, it means any charge particle entering in a magnetic field in the perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field, so it experiences a maximum force, because if we put the value of theta as 90, then we get the value of the force QVB dot n cap. The magnitude of the force becomes QVB, that is the maximum force experienced by the charge particle during motion. Okay, so this is the Lorentz force, and the rules which determines the direction of the force, that is Fleming's left hand rule, very easy, and Maxwell's right hand thumb rule, it can be also explained earlier. So now let us come to a topic, that is force experienced by a current carrying conductor placed in uniform magnetic field. Force experienced by a current carrying conductor current carrying conductor placed in uniform magnetic field. Okay, suppose that we have a magnetic field, suppose that in this direction, and this is the direction of the magnetic field, and we have a conductor that flows a current through itself I. Suppose that this is a conductor and placed like such orientation. So if we assume that there is a current flowing through the conductor I, and the current I is going from this direction to this, okay, this is the direction of the current. So in what direction the charge particle moves, or assume that the current is entering at this terminal and leaving from this terminal, so direction of the current in this turn. So and if we assume that the number density of this conductor is n, number density of electrons in conductor, and we know that when any electron moving inside the conductor, then there is a current flowing through the conductor, and we also know that in the direction in which the electron moves is just flowing through the conductor. So if we assume that the current is flowing in this direction, then the direction of the motion of electron will be in just opposite direction. And suppose that this electron is moving along this direction with a velocity v, that is vd, that is drift velocity, because there is a current flowing through the conductor when there is a motion of the electron by a velocity of drift. So if electron is moving along this direction, and the magnetic field in which electrons is moving, suppose that the angle made between this velocity with this magnetic field is b, is theta, then what will be the force experienced by a single electron? This can be provided by the formula F is equal to what? Magnitude of the force equal to minus of E dot V cross B, because electron is a negative particle. So if we write it as magnitude, the value of the force is minus of E whole into V cross B. Okay, so if you want to know what will be the total force acting on the conductor, so we have to calculate how many electrons present inside the conductor. To know about the total number of electrons present inside the conductor in magnetic field, we have a basic concept. Suppose that if we assume a small element of this conductor, this is a small element of conductor whose width is dl, then if we multiply the value of the current through this dl, then this will treated as current element, that is idl, and the direction of idl is along this direction. So if we take the cross sectional area of this conductor is A, and number density as we already assumed that n, so what will be the number of electrons present in this elementary volume of the conductor? So number of electrons will be equal to A dot dl, that is volume, dot n. N means total number of electron present per unit volume. So total number of electron present present in this volume element, this will be equal to A dot dl dot n. So what will be the total force acting on the electrons present in this volume element? So if this force will be dF, then this will be equal to the force experienced by one electron, that is minus E into V cross B. This is the force experienced by one electron multiplied by the total electron present in this element, volume element, that is n into A into dl. Okay, so we can write it as what? NaDl, and we can take minus at here, then E into V cross V cross B. Okay, so what will be the value of this df? As we know that there is a minus sign, and if we want to remove the minus sign from here, then we have to replace this dl with v, because if we write it as n e a and v as outside from the integration, because as we earlier says that this produces a current in the conductor that can be taken as drift velocity. So this can be taken as vd, and here vd. So this drift velocity can be taken from outside, and dl will take place the place of the vd. So dl cross b, as we are seeing that the drift velocity and dl both are in opposite direction. So if we place the vd by dl, then dl cross vb becomes positive. Okay, so this is the force acting on the charged particle. Now if we explain all this in the term of the more general term, suppose that what is the value of NEAVD? So Ne is the total number of charged particle entering in the cross-sectional area A, and Vd is the total distance traveled by the charged particle in 1 second. So this will be the total amount of charged particle moving in 1 second. So rate of flow of charge, this provides the rate of flow of charge, and rate of flow of charge is also known as current. So this will be equal to current. So value of df is equal to I into dl cross b. So if we integrate, if we put this as I into dl b into sine of theta, suppose that the angle between dl and b is theta, then because we already assume that the angle between vd and b is theta, so angle between dl and b will be equal to 180 minus theta. Okay, so suppose that this is phi, that is 180 minus theta, then this will be equal to I dl b sine of phi, and direction of this will be perpendicular to both dl and b. So we can write it as what will be the total force acting on the conductor. So if we integrate this, then we get the total force acting on the conductor is I is constant, B is also constant, and sine of phi is also constant, because the inclination of the conductor does not change with respect to time. Then this can be taken as outside from the integration, and integration of dl becomes the total length of the conductor inside the magnetic field. So this becomes L. So this becomes LB sine of phi dot n cap. So if we write it in the vector form, then we get F equal to I into L cross B. Okay, this is a formula for the force experiencing by a conductor placed in uniform magnetic field, and this is the force experiencing by the current carrying conductor placed in uniform magnetic field. Okay.